Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. And how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I have a disclaimer. I want to get started with that first
Okay.
because I know it's going to come back if it comes to be a problem. If it becomes a problem for us, right?
Okay, we're starting
I,
with drama. We're starting
yes,
with drama
yes, yes.
already.
I want to thank you, my sister. I want to thank you for indulging me in this episode this morning without a plan. If this show flops today, it will be my fault.
Well, it won't
But
flop.
I don't think
And
it will.
listen, Seinfeld did a very successful show for years about nothing. So, so if he can do it, we can do it. So
We can
there you
do
have
it.
it, folks.
We
We
can
don't
do it.
have we didn't come up with we didn't come up with any clear direction today. Now you can think it's because we're not creative, we were lazy, but that's not it. We're just that innovative. We're ahead of the game. So
That's right.
where it
That
takes us is where it takes us. But okay, Teresa,
yes.
you see that?
Oh
That's
yeah. I
that's
see
in
it.
honor of my Lady Gamecocks who played today at 2.
You know
They're
what?
gonna be against UCLA, but we're trying to get it done. Shout
Right.
out to the Gamecocks.
Shout out to the Gamecocks. And
Yeah,
so my daughter's a big, big
I
fan.
know,
So I knew
I
all about the game, and I'm not to call her either
know. Yeah.
during
So
that.
so today, Teresa, when we have our business meeting, and I tell you, I gotta go because family business is just so I can get home and watch the game. So
Yeah.
there you have it.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
right. And only today will I forgive you for coming to our breakfast tea without your
I thought about that. Teresa, I can't find my mug. I told you that. I don't know if somebody came in the night and stole it. I cannot find my earrings off mug, and I refuse to go into the supplies and get another one because that would be dishonest. You have one, and I have one, and so if I've
it,
lost
it'll,
mine, that's just
it'll,
that's just
it'll,
bad. And I don't know what that says because it certainly doesn't mean that I don't care about earrings off. I have turned my house up
no,
and
I'm not
down.
concerned about that at all. What I'm concerned about is that
Yeah.
you, Miss Owner of Earrings Off, refuse to go in the supplies and get yourself another one. That's
No, Teresa,
concerning.
that would be dishonest
That's
unless
not
you get
concerning.
two, then I don't get two. I have to
Girl,
that's
really,
not
Lou.
right. That's
Lou,
not
let me tell you
right.
something. If I lose mine or I break it, I'm going to get another one.
Oh, you're gonna pay for it.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
you're gonna pay for it. I'm just saying. Don't try to front because we're all here. You know what we're dealing with, so you're gonna have
I
to
didn't
buy
expect that.
it.
I am totally shocked by that comment. And you know what? We're going to take that offline. Moving on, folks.
See,
I ain't paying for it.
well, I mean, really, folks, you don't understand. She's tripping because we're all here live, but she knows what we're dealing with. I don't think so. I got everything. I count everything. I got a list of everything. So there you have it. But Teresa,
Oh,
something,
thank you for that.
something I wanted to
Um,
talk to you about. Oh, and shout out to my sister Ann, who's got a busy day, and she is just so serious about trying to come on and watch the show and
Shout
support
out,
us.
Anne.
I
Thank you
tell
so
you,
much for the support, Anne.
yes, yes, yes. Thanks to everybody. But Teresa, something I wanted to ask you about. Okay, this is serious. Now, you had a destination wedding, right?
Yes. Yes, I
Okay,
did.
so I had a friend tell me recently, and I said, I'm going to ask Teresa about that. She said, Lou, people, because I was invited to one, I'm very excited about it. And she said, Lou, people do that because they don't really expect you to come. they do that to sort of trim their guest list, and it hurt my feelings. It hurt my feelings because this couple is special to me. Is that what
No,
people do? Tell me the truth. Now, and
no,
you
it
gonna
is.
have, is
It
that
is.
what people do?
You know what? That happened for me hundreds of years ago, but that was not our intent. We wanted everybody who could afford to join us. But
But
what we were clear about was after the wedding, you're to leave. So come
okay,
ahead of time, enjoy yourself,
yeah.
have the wedding, and then you go because that's when the honeymoon starts. And you don't want guests there for that.
Well, why not, Teresa? That's rude. I'm
Because
just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
so are you serious?
But no,
That's
but
why they don't
Teresa.
want you to
So
come. They know you're not
see,
gonna leave.
I am leaving. It's all I can do to get my finances in order to get there. So don't trip.
Yeah, yeah,
I might be arriving. I might be arriving the morning of, leaving after. But like Tabitha said, that's my business.
that's your business. That is your
But Teresa,
business.
seriously, so that's not what people do. Now, not yours. I'm not talking about you. I'm saying since you did a destination wedding and you are in the know, because we all know you're with the hoity-toity group. Okay, so is that what? So is that what people do? Do they do that thinking, you know,
No.
these people aren't going to come, or do they do it
Well,
because they
well, let me
want you
tell you
there?
what I was thinking.
And let me tell you, the reason I'm asking you is because you know who I live with. The other
Yes.
person that I trust, he will go to a barn raising. If he gets
Yeah.
an invitation, he's going. So I can't trust him. And I
Yeah.
can't trust him because he goes to anything and everything. So
Yeah.
can't even trust his opinion on this. So I said, let me ask you. So Teresa, tell me, is that what's going on?
That's not what's going on. If at least for me, it was a bit more selfish
Uh,
because, you know, I had always been up until that time, always a bridesmaid
yeah,
and not a bride. All my friends
yeah,
was married and had started
yeah,
their family, all of that, right? So I had so many bridesmaid stresses, and I
yeah.
just didn't want to go through
All of
putting them
that.
through that.
Oh, okay.
And
Oh,
I wanted it to be all about me. I wanted all the money spent on me.
okay, okay,
And
okay.
so that's why I did it. I didn't want to have to worry about food. Plus, when I mentioned it to my mom, who is into, she's into flowers and
Yeah, yeah.
um,
All of that.
planning. She does weddings, all of these things. When I mentioned it to her, before I could get the word out of my mouth, she was talking about flying all the flowers in from Hawaii. I'm like, no, no.
Whoa, go ahead.
No, no, no,
See?
no. And
All
then
right.
I was good with that until she said that I would have to pay for it. Right? I'm like, you have one daughter. And they said, you know what they said to me?
Okay, Teresa, I don't think you're supposed to put your family business
Well,
out just
I
because we
gotta
didn't
say
have a
this.
program planned. I mean, go ahead.
I got to say this. You know what they said to me?
What?
That they paid for college and I had a choice, but they didn't let me know what the choice was. I said, well, then
What?
I would have chosen marriage.
No, but I think I heard that from, I'm trying to remember, was that from my brother and his wife? It was from somebody in the family said they told their daughters, okay, pick one, college or the big wedding. And some people now they do that and they add in the down payment for a house, so
Ah,
some people are
mhm,
doing that. So
mhm.
yeah, okay, but it wasn't because you were secretly hoping that these people would not show up.
No,
Okay. Okay, just
no,
checking, just checking.
no, no, no.
And Teresa and I, we're not so new to Fireside, but we're still learning the ropes. But Teresa, one thing we said we were going to practice on was thanking people for joining us. So I see Verna on. Thanks, Verna, for being here. We
We
appreciate it.
appreciate it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, so Teresa, all right. So I don't have to have my feelings hurt when I'm trying to get my budget straight, rearranging things, making sacrifices so I can go to the wedding because I love them. Okay,
Mhm.
all right.
What's the destination?
It is California.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So,
Mhm.
and I'm not going to be riding on the wing of the plane, so I really got to get myself together. But again,
Oh, you got it. You got
That's
it.
my business. So,
You've got it.
Yeah.
So how was your week?
Well, it was a very it was a good week. I tell you, the weather back and forth. And but I went outside yesterday and the birds were chirping and the sun was shining and I just thought, wow, how cool is this that I get to enjoy this day. And I went out to dinner with a couple of girlfriends and we just got to chat. And it was good doing that. It's always good to get together with people in a space where you feel safe, a safe
Safe and
space to
comfortable.
let
Absolutely.
people, not the surface stuff. How you doing? I'm doing fine. No, but to actually let people know, yeah, this is what's going on, and to be able to say that in a space where you trust people's opinions and
Yeah.
they're gonna respond in a way that's supportive. So it was just good. It was just good. Hmm.
Good. I'm
Yeah,
glad to see that the weather is trying to, move its way to the warmer
yeah,
temperatures. I'm so looking forward to that.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm so concerned about the folks in California actually because they keep getting these horrible storms.
I tell you,
They
and
get hit so much. I'd be so glad when the weather stabilizes.
yeah, and I woke up and saw that there was a storm in Mississippi, and so far there were about 20 people that were killed. So it's like, oh
When?
my, yeah, that was just on the news this morning when I flipped it on. There is just a lot going on. But
Tornadoes?
going back to the dinner last night, when we
Oh,
were in the restaurant, the table near us, there was a couple at the table, and the young lady bent down to pick up something, and when she bent down to pick it up, her head, I guess she misjudged the distance, but her head forcefully hit the bottom of the table. When she was, it really, it was loud. It shook the table.
oh my
And
goodness.
at our table, my two friends, they were just sort of looking to make sure she was okay. I didn't want to look because I didn't want her to be embarrassed. So different
Right.
reactions to the same occurrence, and I know there were other people looking, but later in the evening, my girlfriend was like, one of my friends said, well, she hit her head and she could be injured. And her date, a partner that was with her, he was just on the phone the whole time this was going on. And my
But not
girlfriend was
like not
so,
not paying attention to her?
my friend was so annoyed. I mean, so annoyed. And that she talked about that like, he's on the phone. She hit her head. I mean, he's not even checking on her. I hope she's okay. He's still on the phone. I mean, he's really on the phone. And I was going, okay, I guess she's okay. But I thought I was gonna might have to intervene and get her out the restaurant because it looked like she might have taken matters into her own hands. She was so annoyed. Thanks, Pinnippa, for joining us. Yeah, she was so annoyed. I mean, really. Yeah, my girlfriend was like,
So
what?
you're saying your girlfriend was annoyed, but the girl who hit her head was not.
Well, she was just sort of, I couldn't really, like I said, I was trying not to look, to stare at her. But when I did see her, she was just sort of, sitting there.
And that might have been why she was distracted herself because he wasn't paying her any attention. And maybe that's why she misjudged and hit her head. Who knows?
Well, why you got to go to the dark side with the happy couple? I mean,
That
why?
ain't not a happy couple. If he didn't take time
Well, he
to
did.
check on her, he that's not a happy couple.
Well, my friend, like I said, I was like, okay, wait a minute. She was going, but he's on the phone. I mean, she hit her head. I hope she's okay. I was like, okay. So, yeah.
Yeah.
But how was your week been?
Oh gosh. It was a typical busy week. It was my week in the office, and
Hmm.
that's always kind of I think you mentioned the word dark earlier, but I'm
Yeah,
so grateful
yeah.
to
But
have
so
a
you're
job.
having to navigate traffic and all of that
Oh,
to get, yeah.
it is such a it's such a contrast, and I really am a proponent of one or the other. not the hybrid.
Well, let me tell
But
you,
I know some people don't want to go into the office.
I didn't want to say it earlier because, I just didn't. But to be honest, that's what I meant when I said I went outside and the birds were
Oh
singing.
gosh,
And
I
I was like, and
oh yeah.
Lord, I just get to do what I want
Well,
to do
that is
today.
that
You
is the
know,
beauty of retirement,
I
and I'm
know,
so
right?
looking forward
I
to it.
was like,
Yeah.
oh my
Mhm.
goodness. And I just do what I want today. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm reading a lot about people having challenges going back into the office. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think the whole quitting to get find remote jobs has slowed down a little bit, at
Yeah.
least in my company.
Yeah.
So, but it was hard. It was really hard. I mean, just imagine being at home for others who work. Imagine being home for
Don't
2
hate.
years,
I mean, there was something in that, but I'm gonna let it go. But go on. All right.
being home for 2 solid years, right? And being able to get the job done and
Yeah.
and then having to go back into the office is kind of tough. But,
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is, and I'm grateful to have a job. So,
Yeah. Well,
gotta do what I
but
gotta do. But it is
well,
hard. It is hard.
but Teresa, remember one of the an impetus or a factor which I considered when it was time for me to wrap it up was, I still have problems with saying that word retirement. It's something about that, even though that's where I am and what I did, it's something about the word that does not sit well with my spirit. It
What
just
is
doesn't.
it?
I don't know. It's something about because I don't feel retired. I don't feel
Well,
that.
you certainly are very busy.
Yeah. So, but anyway, what I was saying, one of the factors I considered was remember I had to pull almost a 24-hour shift doing budget negotiations, and
Yeah.
that almost did me in. And that was when I said, you know what, this is really not for me anymore because this is just asking a bit much, and this is really for somebody else, probably younger, who can pull these kinds of hours. But been there, done that. So, but it is
Mhm.
just something, about the word itself that doesn't feel like it sits well with me. Now I like what it means,
Oh, yeah.
but the word itself is a challenge for me to accept.
That's
And
interesting. And I actually feel a, blog post in that.
you,
I
you
think you
think?
got some
Well, actually, because in my letter, my final letter, I said I was resigning. And actually, it was retirement. I couldn't even put it in there. And
Oh,
HR was
wow.
like, but you're retiring. But I didn't put that in there because I had challenges with that. And
Yeah.
still do, apparently. So,
Yeah,
mhm,
yeah.
yeah, yeah,
One thing about work, going into the office, um, the whole cooking thing, you know how I like to make meals. I like to
yeah,
cook. Anyway,
yeah.
so I got a new toy. I think I shared this with you a few weeks back. I got an Instant Pot. Do you know what that is, Lou? Because you don't cook.
Why you try to make it sound like I'm ignorant, an idiot? Just because I don't cook, I don't need shade from you. Yes, I know what an Instapot is. I
Okay.
have a friend who has talked to me about getting one, and I look at her like, why are you suggesting that? Because I don't need one because I don't cook. But that's no reason for you to take that posture with me. And that's very insensitive, because of that, I'm gonna let it go. So what? I have cooked in my life,
Wait,
and
you
may
are a
cook
good cook
again.
when you do
And
cook.
make,
I
but
love your
anyway, yeah, I know about your little new toy. Go on.
Okay, so it has made, I mean, I can come home after work and I don't feel so, tired that I can't throw something in there and it be ready in a few minutes. It's
What?
amazing.
What?
Let me tell you
Really?
something, Lou. I made collard greens. I made collard greens in 10 minutes. 10
What?
minutes. Okay, so
Well,
there's
and
a lot of
see,
prep. There's a lot of
okay,
prep that goes into collard greens, right?
yeah,
You have
yeah,
to
yeah,
cut them
yeah,
and clean
yeah,
them and all of that.
yeah.
So I had done all of that. That was
And,
ready.
and when you're saying that, I hope not she's not listening because if I'm going, yeah, I know he's probably saying to himself, not like she's doing any of it. But if we
Yeah.
like for the holidays or if we have people over, I do that, and I have done it in the past, and so I will not be on the show for people to shame me. But go on, Teresa. Yes,
Ooh, sound like somebody got some issues to deal with. But anyway, yes, 10 minutes. You put
10
them in,
minutes.
yes, because it's a pressure cooker.
That's what my friend told me. She said, "Lou, you love." So what else have you done in it?
Girl, everything. I even made because you know it's always vegetables for me, but
Yeah.
I made Robert some wings in there just because I wanted to see how it works. But the thing about the Instant Pot is that it doesn't brown them. So you cook them in the Instant Pot 5, 10 minutes, and then
And
you
you.
put them in the oven to brown them on broil or roast,
So
and then there was wings. Mhm.
so how is that different though from the air fryer? Well, you can't cook the vegetables. You can't do the collards in the air fryer. I do know that much. But I'm saying so.
See, you
But if
kind of got me there. I'm glad you said that because I
you
was
didn't
like,
want,
"What?"
you didn't want to, you didn't want to embarrass me and say, Lou, you got, I know that, Teresa. Okay, but I'm saying,
So, the air fryer is frying foods without oil,
okay.
essentially, and it's
So
cooking with forced air and heat, right?
So you
It
got
does
the
not.
Instapot for like the vegetables?
Yeah, that's what. Well, actually, I made a carrot cake in it. Yeah, with
What?
steam. So it's cooking with steam and water, where and pressure, where the air fryer is cooking with air. Hmm.
So I okay. So you can cook in a few minutes. So you've been cooking more because of it. But are they pricey, Teresa? So my girlfriend was like, "What is that? Like $80 or something?"
It they there are a lot of
Different
models,
brand,
right?
yeah.
So I Takia has had one forever. She bought one a long time ago. So I would borrow hers when I wanted to do something, right? But what
Mhm.
happened was I was in the grocery store minding my little business and I walked down the aisle. There was a clearance section in the grocery store. Who knew? So I stopped to look and there was an Instant Pot there marked down. And so there was a
In the
person
grocery
working
store?
in the grocery store. And there was see, I know you don't shop for groceries too now. So,
Oh, you know
okay.
what? I didn't know this was going to be a show where we tell all the loose business, but no. And you know what, Teresa? When you talked about going back in the office and that, I tell you no lie. If I have to go into the grocery store, it's like I feel like where am I? What is going on? It's so bright in there. It's bright, and I'm like, what? It just
Anyway,
feels
we
not no.
digress.
Anyway, but I went in there to buy a card because the cards that I like are only in the store. And my two men, their birthdays are coming up, and they're just special enough to me that I actually physically went in the grocery store. But go
Yeah.
on.
So yeah, they sell small appliances at the grocery store.
What?
Uh yeah. Yeah. And so there was a woman working there and I said to her, I said, the box was taped and open. I said, what was wrong with this? Why did someone return it? She goes, we don't return anything in the grocery store, nothing. Like if somebody brings something back, no matter
Anyway,
what it is, they just return it to the manufacturer. They don't put anything back on the shelf. She
oh,
said
I
that
didn't know
box,
that.
someone opened the box in the store. So
Okay.
the Instapot never left the store. And she said, you can take it. If there are pieces or parts missing or it's broken, you can bring it back. Same warranty applies. It was 100 and I think $30 model that I got for $50. It's
What?
much bigger because it's like a 8 quart. I would have never bought one that big,
Yeah.
but for $50, I couldn't pass it up. So it's much bigger than what I would have purchased. But
Okay.
so yeah, I got it for cheaper than like the 6 quart or the 4 quart that I would have bought. So I got the 8 quart and it has a lot of features on it. And what I'm looking forward to is I'm gonna make kefir um, and yogurt.
You're gonna make it?
Yes. myself.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
I'm a
Teresa, you wrote that blog about chia seeds,
yeah.
and didn't even know what they were. But since you said they were good for you, I went out. Well, that's a lie. Now she went out and bought some for me. But anyway, I've been using those, and I tell you, I mean, they are. You said they help with inflammation.
Oh, so many
Yeah,
healthy benefits. It's
yeah.
fiber, it's protein. Chia seeds are like almost a complete protein, if not a complete protein, because it has all the amino acids, and it helps with it helps with it helps with a lot of things.
Yeah,
Inflammation,
yeah, yeah. So I've
yeah.
I've tried to incorporate those into.
Regularity of the bathroom.
Yeah, yeah. That's what
Yeah.
I was about to say. They must have a lot of fiber in them. That's all I'm gonna say about that. But yeah, but I have tried to incorporate those. So,
Yeah.
well,
Mhm.
I tell you what, folks. Believe it or not, we're at 9:26, and
Oh, yeah, that time went by
that
fast.
Teresa and I are, believe it or not, we are simulcasting on YouTube, and we're excited about that. Please make
First,
sure.
our first time.
Yeah,
Woohoo!
yeah, yeah. Teresa, you see this? You're up. You're taller than me. I got to raise my chair or something because it looks like you're getting top billing. And I know that's not what's going on, but there is something. In addition to me being bothered by the word
So
retirement, I am bothered by the fact that I am shorter than you. And so we got an issue with that. Got a lot of things going on today on
So
the
I
live
did
show.
notice that, but I was not going to bring it up on the show.
Oh,
It was going to be post show, post
you
production
But
conversation.
you didn't want to bring that up on the show, but you had no problem in saying you think it's okay to steal company supplies. I mean, I'm trying to understand. Okay. Anyway, folks,
No, she didn't.
our, our next show is our regular show, which is on Tuesday, April the 11th at 8 p.m. We are working on getting a guest on. Teresa and I know a lot of wonderful guests. Our challenge is we're a little challenged with getting them on because of our issues with technology. Not Teresa's because she's a whiz at that, but we are working on it. So stick with us, and we so appreciate your support. We're going to end as always with Teresa. Do you have anything else before I go into the mantra?
Thank you for
We're going
listening.
to
Hey,
end.
Nishi.
We're we're going to go. We're going to end as always with a mantra. Now, Teresa and I do mantras, and they're not anybody that feels like, woo. No. Mantras are things that you say to yourself. You talk to yourself every day more than anyone else. You hear your voice more than anyone else. So it's important what you say to yourself every day, that you don't beat yourself up, that you don't say things that devalue who you are and make you feel less than and incapable. So banish all of that. Start your day with a mantra. Say kind, loving things to yourself so that you can go about your day and have a wonderful day. So, today is a good day.
I will make it so.
My reality is formed by what my mind tells it.
Today I am healthy and well.
I am at peace.
I extend kindness to myself and others.
In my actions and interactions today,
I lead with commitment to do better.
and be better,
I commit to being part of the solution
to positively impact the environment.
and the world.
I make the choice, and my choice becomes my reality. That's it for us today here at Earrings Off. Thank you so very much for joining us. We hope you have a wonderful day.